it's Miss Jessica. Welcome. The purpose of this video is to offer some ideas for making instruments at home. I want to start by saying that safety is of the utmost importance. So any instrument that we are making, I want to make sure that, first of all, if you're a student watching, make sure that you check in with your family first, check in with your parent or your caregiver to make sure that the materials that you're using are okay. And parents, if you're watching, don't feel like you have to do any of this. Make sure that it's appropriate for your child. Of course, that's always top priority. And also, I want to emphasize that don't feel like you have to go shopping right now. That's not the point of any of this. The point of this is just to offer some ideas, some suggestions, not to go out shopping. These are some things that I happen to have hanging around my house, my apartment right now. So the idea is to offer some ideas of some things that maybe you have hanging around. And so if you have these things around, great. And if not, that's okay too. The instruments on our body are also things that we can use during music groups. So things like our voices or our hands or, tapping our knees or our feet or our legs are also appropriate ways to move and incorporate instruments during music therapy. The instruments of the body are also appropriate. So I want to make sure that I emphasize that point as well. And so I'm going to give you just some ideas, some suggestions, and if you have a chance to go to the resources page, you'll be able to see some of the ideas that I'm going to offer you. And I'm going to pause this video too, I'm going to give you a chance to pause this video so that you can see some of those ideas. So I'm going to hold those up here. So here are a few ideas right now, and I'm going to talk about those in this video. So these are some ideas that I put together. I took them from the internet, and I also took them from myself and just consolidated them, and I'm going to discuss them in this video. All right, so feel free to pause the video so that you can read those, or go to the resources page and view those up close as well. All right, so let's start with shakers. So shakers can be made from empty bottles. You can take any type of empty bottle, even this itself. So this was a bottle of popcorn kernels. And so, I've since filled it with a whole variety of macaroni, dried macaroni, beans, and a whole bunch of other things. But there are some popcorn kernels still in there. This is a shaker in and of itself. So here's a shaker right here. But I also am using that to help fill other things. You don't need a whole lot of things. This is a shaker that I can't remember if I made this or someone else made this, one of my students or my intern or staff made this in one of my music therapy groups. So I'll show you this up close. So this is made from a water bottle with some pipe cleaners for decoration and just some colorful perler beads and a couple of other different beads inside for decoration, and some string on the outside. And you can put stickers on it. You could even take this. We probably could have taken this off. The water part could be taken off because that's a little bit, it's not the most attractive feature of the water bottle, but it doesn't really matter. It's totally up to you. And you could decorate it with stickers, or paint or glitter glue or whatever you have hanging around your house. You also don't need to go shopping. We want to stay in as much as possible during this time, so I want to emphasize that. Do not feel like you have to go shopping. The point of this activity is not to go shopping right now. I want you to try to find whatever you have lying around your house. So anything that's safe, and of course, anything that works for you and your family. Students, if you're watching this, make sure that you ask your parents' permission first. And parents, you know, I want to do anything that's comfortable for you. So parents and caregivers, anything that works for you and your comfort level, of course. So yeah, so this works for a shaker. This is a plastic water bottle, and that can be a shaker. So next is a guiro. So actually, a guiro is, you can also use a water bottle as a guiro. So I'm going to take the same one that we just had, and you could do the exact same thing. You could decorate it as a shaker, and then all you have to do is take any type of stick. You could use a chopstick, you could use a plastic fork. Again, things that are lying around your house. Don't go shopping. And you just scrape. You want to use a water bottle that has ridges this time. Some type of bottle that has ridges, and you scrape the outside of the bottle. And that's your guiro. So you have a guiro. Next is a rain stick. So a real rain stick, I'm going to show you a real rain stick. I have two. This is a real rain stick. So a real rain stick has, as you can see, it has separations in it. And so it allows the beads to move slowly through the separations. So a real rain stick does have those beads and the separations. And so I'm going to show you, there's a couple of ways that you can do this. And so one way, I don't have it on me right now, but one way that the sheet offers is you can take tin foil and you curl the tin foil up, and you place the tin foil inside the tube. So you place the tin foil inside the tube. The other way that I'm showing you is through toothpicks. And so you can take a toothpick and you can pierce the tube. And so you just stick a toothpick through the tube, and so you want to do this throughout the whole tube. Right, so you pierce the tube like that, and then you have all these different levels, and then when you're done, you would need to kind of cut or sand down the outside. So again, the toothpick method is not necessary. You don't have to do it because the toothpicks are sharp. You would need to file them down. So that you would probably need an adult to help you with. So if you don't have an adult to help you, then probably don't do the toothpick method. So, and then after that, you would place some beads on the inside. First, you see that little circular piece? You want to take that circular construction piece, you want to tape it to one side of the tube, place some beads inside, and then secure another circular piece on top afterwards. Next is drums. I love drums because you can use anything for drums. So I had a packing box. You can totally take a packing box that you have around and use it as a drum. All right, so here's a packing box, and you can take this, and this could become a drum. So this is a drum right here. This is a drum. You take it, you decorate it. That could be a drum. I have this tin can. This was blueberry pancake and waffle mix that I just finished recently. And I emptied it out and cleaned it, and now that's a drum. Plastic cups, you know, we all know the cup song, right? So I mean, a cup could be a drum, you know, use the cup as a drum. You could line up a whole bunch of these things and have a whole drum set. You know, you can decorate them, you can not, it's totally up to you. I mean, pretty much, yeah, a hummus container I had is a drum. Any type of recycled materials that you have around your house can be drums. So, I mean, be creative, make your own drum set, line up a whole bunch of these things. And like I said, you could, all of these make different sounds. Tin makes a different sound, metal makes a different sound than plastic, than cardboard. So all of these things make different sounds. So you would have a drum set right there. Wind chimes. So real wind chimes, I don't actually have these objects with me. I have real wind chimes. I don't know if you can see them, but I do have real wind chimes hanging right here on my window behind me. So real wind chimes are hung up by string, and there's usually there's something in the middle. There's a middle piece. So this idea says if you have old keys or old metal objects hanging around your house, you know, you could take the keys and hang them up by strings, find a stick outside, hang all of those on a stick, and then use a piece of string to loop all of those around, and then you hold the string up, and then those can be your wind chimes. So I thought that was a cute idea. And then finally, the guitar. So now for a guitar, you could use a Kleenex box. It could be this size, it could be a smaller size, it doesn't have to be a big size. And you want to put rubber bands around the Kleenex box this way or the long way. It's totally up to you, whatever way works. So you could do it this way or this way, depending on what kind of rubber bands you have. And because some bands don't fit a certain way, right? So, and you want to see if you have different sized rubber bands, that's better. If not, it's okay. You can use whatever sizes you have, but if you do have different size rubber bands, that's ideal. And you can also use a cereal box if you have an old cereal box, and you cut a hole in the cereal box. So this hole is like the hole of the guitar. And then you could also take this, and that is the top of the guitar. So that is like the fretboard. So you would want to hold it like this. So depending on if your strings are this way, if they're this way, you would put it like that. And if it's going to be this way, then you would do it like this. So that would be your guitar, like that, or like this. And that's how you would make a guitar. Also, I happen to have these wooden spoons. So these are actual music spoons that I have. These are wooden music spoons. So, but if you have, you know, if your family was willing to let you use spoons that they have, you could maybe put some tape around them, you know, like some fun duct tape around the spoons. You could make spoon instrument. You could use plastic spoons too and see how that comes out. Just a fun idea of something that you could do maybe, and you could make your own music spoons. So these are just a few ideas for making instruments. I also offered, like, these are a few things that I have. Again, I just happen to have these hanging around. I did not go out and buy these, but I've done instrument making projects with students that I've worked with. So if you happen to have these hanging around, these types of things, you can throw these into your water bottles as decorations. You could glue them or tape them on the outside for fun decorations. you know, beads, perler beads, whatever you have hanging around. So yeah, those are just a few ideas for making instruments. Be creative. There's lots of different things that you can do. Hopefully that gives you a few different ideas. And anything that's safe, of course. You want to keep your safety, or parents, if you're watching, parents and caregivers, your child's safety in mind, of course. That's paramount. So anything that is safe and appropriate, you want to keep that in mind. So hopefully that gives you some ideas. I'm sorry I don't have my instruments to share with you during this time. And of course, the instruments that you have on your body. You can use your hands, you can use your voice, you know, you can shake your head, you can move your body, you can move your legs, you can move your feet, tap your feet. Whatever you have on you is also an instrument. All right, so always keep that in mind too. So use the instruments that we have, all right, that we were given. Whatever you have is a valid instrument. So, okay, thank you so much. I hope that was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you soon.